What's up guys, welcome back once again to Did Reviews. Today I'm checking out the SG520 from Sahara Gaming. It's Sahara Gaming SG520 that I've previously done a sort of overview video of and showing you basically everything that the case can do, the features of it and everything like that. This is a really budget case and could be one of the best budget cases out there for 2024. Absolutely fantastic value. Around £50 here in the UK, and also available with fans, and I think it's around £55 with the fans, and you get 3 of their daisy chain sort of lian unifans with it as well. So absolutely fantastic value. So I've done a build in it. I'm going to take you, basically show you the build, what it looks like, everything, so you can see in it, and then obviously I'll talk a bit about how it was to build in, anything I found that I didn't like about it, things I do like about it, and we'll do some thermal temperature testing as well, so we can see how well it performs with obviously the case open and case closed for airflow, so you can tell how good it is for airflow. Spoiler alert, it's pretty good. So let's basically get on with it. As you can see, build's done. I'm just going to do the peel now for you on camera so you can see it. Everyone loves a good peel, so let's get this done. There's one on the front and one on the back, and I have to say so myself, this looks absolutely stunning. It looks beautiful. The tinting's just about right on the glass, nice sort of dark tinting, but you can still see the fans enough. Excuse the sounds of the plastic in the background if you can hear that, but I've just peeled off. But looks absolutely beautiful. So I'll show you some B-roll, if you want to call it that. I'll show you some footage of the case, a few angles from it now, and then basically we'll get into the testing at the end. So you've seen what it looks like, see how good this build looks. I think it looks absolutely stunning. The fans I've used in it are the Sahara M12 Mirror 12s, which are their lian unifan alternatives. Unfortunately, I've only got 3 of them. They didn't send me the version with them already included, but they did send me 3 of them previously to that, so I've used those in there as intake. Unfortunately, again, they don't do a reverse one as well, so you can see the back, but it doesn't look too bad on this. And I've only got 3 of those, so I've got 3 on those as intake from the side. I'll see that's the only place you can intake other than the bottom, and I've got 1 noise blocker fan at the back, because it's the only other white fan I have with RGB at the moment to hand. So I've just used that now, and I think it looks okay. It would have been nice to have another one of these at the back, and maybe some at the bottom as well to fully kit it out. But this is an air-cooled build, so there should be plenty getting in there, enough to get to the GPU and the CPU cooler as it is. And obviously we'll talk about the testing now so you can see how well it's actually performing. First of all, let's talk about the build itself. So we're using the Ryzen 9 5900X. I know it's a little bit older, but this is my sort of test system. It's on a B550-E board from Asus Strix. We've got the 3080 Founders Edition in there. We've got 32 gigabytes of Delta R RGB RAM from Team Force. That's absolutely fantastic RAM, looks beautiful in here. The cooler, we've got the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 5. Again, an absolute beast of a cooler, and as you can see, fits in here just nicely from the B-roll. There is still a little bit of space as well, so you could potentially get a little bit of a bigger cooler in here, but it's plenty big enough and looks absolutely fantastic in here. And then other than that, we've got two ADATA SX8200 1TB NVMe, not that that really matters, and the power supply unit is a Kolink something or other. I'll put that up on the screen. I can't remember what it's called. 1000 watt PCIe Gen 5 PCIe Gen 5 power supply unit. Again, that doesn't really matter for this sort of build. We're just testing out the thermals of the case. So let's talk about how it was to build in. To be honest with you, really easy. The case, the glass here on the front and the side both come off, so you can get into that no problem for installing the fans on the back. Really easy. Plenty of space behind the motherboard for cable management. Just about enough room in the bottom where the power supply is to cram all your cables in. It is a little bit tight in there, but not too bad. There is enough room for sure, but it is a tiny bit tight down there. Other than that, pass-throughs for the motherboard, absolutely fantastic, in the right place where they need to be, everything like that. There's not really anything in terms of ease of build I can really talk about being bad in this. I didn't struggle with it at all. It's absolutely fantastic. You may, yeah, no, there's nothing really to talk about in terms of ease of build at all. So the only gripe I've really got with this is, well, there's two really. One, it's not got USB-C, but again, going back to it, it's a budget case, so you can't always expect that on a budget case. Obviously, the price is absolutely fantastic. And then two, there's only one sort of sled that comes with it for an SSD. You could get another one in down the bottom, and I think you can get some on the power supply side, but in terms of actual sleds to hide them away, there's only one included. But you could then again use some 3M adhesive type stuff and stick them into the back, and it wouldn't be an issue whatsoever. You could get them in there, no problem. So in terms of ease of build and features, it's absolutely fantastic. Does a brilliant job. Looks, yeah, it's really easy to build in. Obviously, as you can see, it's quite a small case, but there's still plenty of room in there. Like I say, I got 3080F in here, which is not a particularly big card on today's standards, but as you can probably see, hopefully now maybe, and then obviously from the footage I've done, there's absolutely tons of room. We've got about that much left to fit a bigger graphics card in if needs be, and the clearance this way is absolutely fantastic as well. There's no support for vertical GPU mounting. You could do it if you snapped all the PCIe brackets out. That's another one of my minuses, is that it's the ones that you snap out, you can't put them back in afterwards. But again, budget case, that tends to be what you find on a lot of budget cases. The only thing with, if you wanted to do vertical mounted GPU in here, is there is braces between where all the PCIe slots snap out, so you would have to get a Dremel out or something and cut them out to be able to fit a vertical adapter in there, unless there's another way of doing it. But that's what you'd have to do on here, because obviously then if you didn't, it'd get in the way of where your connections are going to go into your GPU. But other than that, absolutely fantastic case for the price. Really easy to build in, and personally I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I've gone for sort of a, for some reason I don't know why it's not moving the colours. I did have it moving before. I think it's the motherboard software's been a bit daft, but I still think it looks good. I've gone for a little blue purpley pink colour on this, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. So let's go on with the thermal performance, and you can see how well it performs. So with my thermal performance on the case, it's the same I do with every time. I'll do an idle with it open and closed, I'll do Cinebench with it open and closed, and then I'll do Unigen superposition with it open and closed, all at max fan speed, max settings to basically, in terms of superposition, 1440p extreme and everything like that, to push the GPU as hard as possible, so we get a CPU temperature from Cinebench and a GPU temperature from superposition, so you can see how well the components are being fed fresh air, and you can see how well it performs. So first of all, idle. The case, when it was closed, 35 degrees, with an ambient of over ambient of 15.9, and when it was open, 35 degrees with an ambient over ambient of 15.2. So a little bit better with it open, not a massive deal whatsoever. So not a problem at all there. Then we go on to Cinebench, which is do 10-minute run multi-core to obviously hit the CPU as hard as possible, and then see how it performs in terms of getting airflow to it. So with the case closed, maximum of 71 degrees, and that was an over ambient of 51.3. And then on the open test, it was again 71 degrees, but an over ambient of 50.6. So slightly lower. The temperature was higher in here as well, so it kind of balanced out. There's not a lot in it at all. What's that, 0.7 of a degree? Could be considered within a margin of error, really. Not a big deal at all. So you can see that the airflow is absolutely fantastic in this, which you wouldn't think it would be, being glass everywhere apart from the back intake. And bear in mind, I've not got any intake on the bottom, which you can do as well, so you could get it even cooler in there. Then going on to the graphics card, idle temperatures were, with it closed, were 26.8, and that's an over ambient of 5.8. And then with it open at 26.2 with an over ambient of 5.7. Again, exactly the same pretty much. And then we go on to the superposition tests, like I say, 1440p, extreme textures, everything like that to hit the GPU as hard as we could. And we took a GPU temperature, not a hotspot temperature, just the normal GPU temperature. And with it closed, we got a 60.3 degrees with an over ambient of 39.4. And then weirdly, when it was open, it was actually higher. It was 61.2 with an over ambient of 40.4. So a degree difference there with the over ambience. For some reason, when it was open, it was warmer, and when it was closed, it was cooler. Not sure why, but again, it still shows that the temperature, the airflow is absolutely fantastic in it. I wonder if it's maybe because the airflow's coming directly there and been directed to the GPU rather than just coming straight out the front. Probably is the reason. Because obviously, once you take this glass panel off, the air's going to take the path of least resistance and come straight out the front. Whereas with the case closed, it's got nowhere to go other than get sucked in by the GPU. So that could be the reason. But again, still shows that the thermal performance of this case is absolutely fantastic. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're looking at this case or you're looking for a budget case, highly recommend this one. Obviously, bear in mind the few things you lose with it being a budget case, so obviously USB-C and the PCIe type thing. There's just not a lot you lose, to be honest with you. But if you're looking for a case that looks absolutely beautiful, personally I think anyway, and performs well and doesn't break the bank, if you want putting together, I don't know, an old second-hand sort of system and you want a nice case to put it in, or you're going sort of last gen, doing a sort of budget build, then yeah, this case is going to be for you. Even if you're doing a high-end build like 4090s and things, you still get them in there and you still do what you want it to do. But obviously, generally people that buy that kind of thing aren't going to be putting it in a really cheap case, but it's still possible and still looks absolutely amazing and performs well. So why not, really? So like I said, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this and found this interesting. If you're looking for a case like this, or you're looking at this case and didn't know whether to buy it or not, then yeah, go ahead, go for it. It's really good. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Any comments in the comment section, please let me know. And that's it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.